guys for tuning into this bonus interview of the Jasmine T. I'm your host, Jasmine, and tonight we're going to learn a little bit more about Brandon Wolfe, Dr. Brandon Wolfe.
Yes.
So I know that you work in many places doing many things. I saw your website. I looked on LinkedIn. It's a bit too much to summarize, so I'm going to let you break it down. So tell us about your work in academia with diversity and inclusion.
Okay, I serve as Assistant Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at UAB. My focus is campus and community engagement. I jokingly tell everybody that I'm Walmart as it relates to diversity work. I'm literally a little bit of any and everything from policy development to in the streets with advocacy, working with nonprofit organizations, educational outreach services, opportunities, and then just some programming. So, for instance, we have Isabel Wilkerson coming up on the 25th of this month, and then Alice Walker on March 18th.
Okay. Is the volume good? Can you hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then just raising awareness to a number of issues that are happening in our communities that we should be addressing.
Like what?
Say, so this past summer, it's been a lot about police violence, police reform, things talking about social media and its impact on racial trauma and how it's shaping us in terms of our mental health. These are conversations that we should be having at a higher level, and not just talking about it, but finding ways in which we can address these issues. It's not just, such and such is good, they really get some good points, but what do we do now that we have this conversation? How do we begin to close the gap?
Yeah, UAB has a really diverse student body. Shout out to the Blazers. I'm from grad school there. So that's like your day job side.
Yes.
So I also saw that you're a speaker. You do like some other engagement activities. Tell us a little bit more about that. What can we see on Brandon Wolfe?
That's actually all about.
Is it all interconnected?
It's all interconnected.
Okay.
So the work that we do, I try to advocate for equity mindfulness, which is, how do we remove some of the systemic barriers that are creating the issues that we're having in the first place, right? So as a scholar who does this work and I'm a researcher, I think it's our responsibility to use our platform to speak out on these issues and be an advocate and to highlight not only the work that we're doing in our institution, but other people who are doing great work in our institution, as well as scholars and people in the community who are doing even greater work. That's what we do.
All right, that's what's up. How can the students get connected with you and or any students?
BWolfe, BWOLFE at UAB.edu. You can find me again at BWolfe PhD on Twitter, Instagram, Brandon L. Wolfe on Facebook. If you see me, you can reach me. I try to make myself as accessible as possible, which is one of the reasons why I developed the website. Just, if anybody outside of UAB that's trying to reach me in terms of even things as simple as, I've had parents to say, hey, I'm trying to get my kid into UAB, or can you help me find some funding, or my student wants to go to med school, or who do you know you can connect people with? I truly believe that it's our responsibility to pay it forward, but also it takes a village to raise the children. It takes a village to nurture our youth. And I tell people, count me as a part of your village, whether you're here in Birmingham or you're in California.
All right, put them in your village. So I know you were saying earlier that you had just gotten your first COVID vaccine shot. So let's talk a little bit about quarantine life. How have you been surviving the past year? Like working from home, how do you not let your work life bleed so much over into the personal? How do you kind of manage?
So for me, the working from home was an issue for me at first because I spent the latter part of last year creating those boundaries to stop doing work the moment I walk in the door and let Dr. Wolfe stay on the doorstep. I'm Brandon when I come home. Right when I mastered that, the pandemic happened, and everything's all together. So it took me a while, but I had to carve out a space in my house that's strictly for when I sit down at this desk in front of this laptop with these books and these notepads. This is my Dr. Wolfe moment. But once I get up, I'm back to being Brandon. Also, what's helped me in the quarantine is I have a group of guy friends who we met through, at the time we were all attending church at Honda, so we're working through the small groups. We've still managed to keep in contact. We fellas, we go out, we have brunch together, we catch up on things. We have a small group gatherings amongst ourselves. I'm a gamer too.
Okay, what
So,
games do you play?
Division, Call of Duty, Final Fantasy, pretty much anything that has like a social component to it. Because usually I'm playing with friends I've known from college, friends I've known from grad school, friends I've known I grew up with, and my brother who lives in Pennsylvania. Shout out to Courtney. So it's just kind of like how we just connect and just socialize over the game, over the way, and just doing something constructive like that.
So what does self-care look like in quarantine? I'm pretty sure some of those moments, like you said, creating boundaries, still making sure you can connect with friends, having some outlets like video games. Anything else?
Yeah, I've recently got back into reading a lot more. I've taken more time to hit the gym. I've recently started running. I hate running, but now
I
run
don't
like
run for my life.
I know, right? But after a while, I get into it. I run like 3 miles a day every morning. I get up and I just knock out 3 miles, and I come, and it's real energizing. And then I got back into cooking. Like I would just sit and I would just cook, and cooking for me is therapeutic.
So what has been one of your favorite dishes you made?
My favorite dish to make, it actually, I go through phases. So like 2 years ago, I went through this whole dessert phase where I was making a red velvet cheesecake, and then I went through another baking phase, and then it's like working on just like lasagna or working stir fry, or I would just have something in the restaurant. Like I think I can duplicate this, doing that. And then there's a sister I met on social media. She's phenomenal, ChefRacia.com. That sister can
Chef Risha?
Risha, my bad.
Yes.
That sister can burn.
I
That
love
sister-
Chef Risha.
She can burn.
I made her bilote wings. And last year,
Mac and cheese.
I haven't made the mac and cheese.
Her mac and cheese.
I haven't
made
made the
me put
mac and
mine
cheese.
away.
I was in charge of Thanksgiving last year, allegedly. But since it was only allegedly, I didn't get to make any new recipes. My mama came in and was like, "Oh, actually, I just wanted you to make what I do, not like no new what you want to do stuff." And then quarantine came around. I really didn't want to cook much for quarantine Thanksgiving, so next year or this Thanksgiving, I'm gonna try like more of Chef Risha's things because I agree, she is the bomb.
Ridiculous.
Have you tried her little wings?
I have.
Okay,
It's top notch.
they're tasty. They're the reason I bought an air fryer.
See, I got one too. And the funny thing is, I've only used it like 3 times.
Yeah, I don't use it much. I don't know why. It's just like I saw a meme that said air fryers have a grip over our people like George Foreman grills did back in the day. I believe that. So when you're not out here busy making an impact, and I know you kind of listed some of your ways you take for self-care as well, but what do you do for like fun or as much fun as quarantine will allow?
Hang out with my friends. I still, I volunteer still. My boy, David, he does a lot of work with Faith Chapel, and he does like a lot of outreach stuff. And he's always inviting me out to come serve, and that actually makes me happy because I know that I'm making a purpose in the lives of other people. I just, whenever I get a moment, I try to just, use this opportunity to reconnect because I think, for me, just me personally, I've been going so fast. It took the quarantine to slow me down. Like, it forced me to slow down and look at my life because now that, and me being a spiritual person, I feel like, God sat us all down and put us on timeout and make us cherish the value of personal touch that now it's like, dang, I haven't reached out to my family on the West Coast or in New York. Let me just call me. Let me just say, hey, I was just thinking about you. Let me be more intentional with that. So that's been what I've been catching up on, and I've been enjoying it. Because I missed out on a lot.
I agree. I started reading a lot more too, but I had to be intentional about reading like books for fun. I'm really good on like self-care books or self-help books or how to do this, how to be a leader. Books that are still like about, I guess, things. And I just need to read some fiction. So that's been beneficial to me. I like spin class. I can't get with the running, but I do love a good spin class. I like to eat. Can't join you with the cooking. I cook for survival. I cook well. It's just not fun. So yeah, all of those self-care things. I'm cool with that.
And binge watch.
That's my jam.
Yeah, I found some shows and some series. I'm like, ooh, I just get on Facebook and start talking about it.
What has been one of your favorites outside of that movie? Probably your favorite. But yeah,
I'm not gonna front. I slept on Claws.
Claws is great.
Claws
Niecy Nash and Karuchi.
Yeah. Absolutely slept on Claws.
Yes.
I slept on. Well, I didn't really sleep on Bridgerton. Like I knew that was gonna be good, and that
Shout out to Shonda.
yeah, she definitely did her thing with that. Not many people like Black AF, but I liked that. I thought it was really relevant.
Is that the one? Is that the one on Netflix?
With Kenya Burns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried. It's bad. Like it's really.
It relates to me because I'm like first generation Wolfe now. Like I'm at this level where I'm the first, so it's like I actually have some of those questions at times. This whole white gaze thing, and I will say.
I don't think I made it past the first episode, or even through the first episode.
You just keep watching. Ozark. It is series that I completely forgot about. That I just went back and just binge watched. Just caught up on like How to Get Away with Murder. What else?
I watched Game of Thrones.
That's the show. I finished all that, and I went back and I watched Snowfall.
I love Snowfall.
Yeah. So, and Ghost, Book of Ghosts was definitely better than I thought it was.
I never watched Power. I feel like by the time I kind of became interested, it was already so many seasons in, and I was like,
but you can just watch it. No one's talking about it right now, so just go do it. This Is Us is probably my favorite show on TV.
I love This Is Us. Me and my mom watched it together. And I cried. Did I cry last night? I did not cry yesterday.
But it got you in your emotions.
That was probably the first episode I watched where I didn't cry. Yeah, they don't see this.
Okay, cool. So when he gave him the pig and he was like, "This is Rose,"
I was just like, "Oh my god,
my
that was
really sweet."
That was really sweet. Randall being all nice to what's her name? Maggie. What's the
Maddie.
Yeah. I love seeing Randall calling with her. She was giving birth. I know lots of pregnant mamas right now during COVID. Those have to be testing time. Kate and her new baby. Mm-hmm. I love me some This Is Us. Jack Pearson.
I got scared. I thought she was gonna take the baby back. I was like, I said, don't let her take. I said, let her get this baby.
So I started watching A Million Little Things on Hulu because I heard that was good.
Yeah, it's really good.
And I really like that show. It's one of those shows where like the last episode came on and I didn't notice. So like it wasn't loading the next one. I was like, what is going on? But okay, so I'm all caught up. But in A Million Little Things, they don't get their baby. I can't remember the name. So the black characters, they're adopting. Yes, they're trying to adopt, and she like changes her mind at the end. So I was watching last night, like, please don't let this lady take this baby from Kate.
You know what? That's where I was triggered from. That's probably where I was triggered.
Yeah, I was
like, man, don't do them like that.
Yeah,
they really want this.
Yeah,
but yeah, when the old girl took her baby back on
wrong. I feel like they got too close in the beginning though. So we're basically doing something together. I feel like they got too attached in the beginning because their adoption lady told them like, don't get too close. Keep your boundaries, but they were just so excited. I don't know.
It was hard because she was going through something.
Yeah.
So it's like, your self-interest, like, if I protect her, I'm protecting my kids. So
she needs to go to therapy. I have laid down my Captain Sable Kate. I used to dive in there in all the situations.
That's what boundaries come into play. Like, sometimes you just gotta be like, some people gonna get it, some people not. And that's okay. And you can't interfere on God's calling on their life.
And I do think it was really mature of them at the end when they came back around and like called her like, hey, we should check in and see how you're doing because when I tell you, we would never speak again. But that was very nice of them as well. Okay, so great. You've been watching some good quarantine shows. Yeah. I feel like, we could probably be on the same lane in some of those, like everybody makes their profile on the apps or whatever. Mm-hmm. We probably have some of the same shows. Now, so for our final question here, since we originally recapped Malcolm and Marie, could you give them any advice on how they could be nicer to each other? Like if they were just sitting right there over us and you just watched this terrible argument here, what would you say to them as a friend? Like since you think they're going to stay together, what would be your advice?
Go get healing. Like heal whatever's eating at you. Because I think, great relationships happen from the inside, and it's basically what's inside you is what you pour into a relationship. So if you heal your dysfunction, you're able to facilitate better relationships and how to connect with people. So yeah, not only that, but get to the core of building your friendship, because you gotta like people beyond just loving them. Because love is a feeling, love is also an action. You don't have those moments where you just don't like somebody. I'm not feeling the way I'm feeling. Hey, how you doing? And while you're doing that, you have to just realize that at the end of the day, it's still a person. You don't dehumanize them. And that has to be that common ground that says, and I've learned this recently in relationships and arguments, is that if you can preface an argument with, hey, we're going to be all right, we're going to get through this, we just got to figure this part out, you feel less threatened. He felt threatened. And that's what she was getting when you feel threatened.
Yes, yeah. Okay, I like that. That's a good wrap up note. So thank you guys for tuning into this bonus interview on the Jasmine Tea with Dr. Brandon Wolfe. Stay tuned for a bonus interview with T. Marie King coming up as well. She's going to be talking to us after we recap Bridgerton episode 8. Be sure to send all your questions, comments, and observations to bjasminetpc@gmail.com. And I'll see you next time.
All right, take care.